You have lived through days that seem to stretch into eternity, days so alike, so heavy that you stopped counting them. The loop was relentless. You woke up with hope, only to feel it slowly drain by midday, replaced by that old weight pressing on your chest again. And you thought maybe this is just life now, static, stuck, without promise. You tried to fight it, and you did, with more strength than you give yourself credit for. But still, the cycle continued. It circled around your peace like a predator, whispering lies that this is all there is left for you. I know, because I was there. I watched every tear you never let fall, heard every groan in the silence, every whispered question you were too afraid to say aloud. I was there, not removed, not far, but present, aching with you, standing watch over your soul even when you felt abandoned. I saw the pressure rise around you like floodwaters. I saw how life kept asking for more when you felt like you had nothing left to give. They told you to be strong, to keep smiling, to be grateful. And you tried. But deep inside, you felt the fray, the unraveling, the slow erosion of what you once believed would be your golden years. That dream of peace, of rest, of being surrounded by laughter and meaning. It started to feel like a distant myth. You gave, and in return, time seemed to take more than it ever returned. The loop wasn't just in your routine. It became part of your belief, your breath, your very sense of being. And still, you endured. Oh, how strong you are. Even in the stillness that felt empty, even in the waiting that seemed eternal, you did not break. But I want you to hear me now. The loop didn't break you because I didn't allow it. I know you don't always understand my ways, and I know you've asked, why would God let me go through this? But I tell you this, there are battles I let run long, not because I am cruel, but because they build in you the kind of strength that cannot be stolen. I allowed the loop to continue, not to punish you, but to protect what I am forming in you. I saw what you could not see. While you saw the same pain repeating, I saw your endurance being shaped into power. While you saw days wasted, I saw your heart growing roots that would hold even through storms yet to come. You were not stuck. You were being seasoned, tempered, made ready. Even when you wondered where I had gone, I was closer than the breath in your lungs. I stood beside you when no one else called. I walked with you when loneliness sat across the room like an uninvited guest. I whispered hope to your soul when your mind was too tired to hear it. I preserved you in the loop, not to leave you there, but to prepare you for what is now beginning. You must understand, I do not waste time. I do not forget my children, and I never take delight in your pain. But I do take delight in your rising. I do take joy in seeing you press on, even when it seems the road is endlessly uphill, the cycle that felt eternal, that daily battle of spirit and flesh. It was not for nothing. I allowed it, yes, but I also shielded you from what could have broken you entirely. There were attacks meant to shatter you completely, but I stood between them and you. You didn't see it, but I intercepted what the enemy sent your way. You only felt the aftershocks, but the full impact, I bore it. That loop, that repetition, wasn't a failure of your faith. It was proof of it. You held on when nothing changed. You stayed faithful when the fruit didn't come. And for that, I call you blessed. Now listen, because what I say next matters. The loop is ending. That cycle that kept spinning, the one that mocked your prayers and tested your endurance, it has reached its conclusion. I am stepping into the center of your situation. I am not sending help. I am the help. I am not offering advice. I am the answer. I am the Lord your God, and I say to you now, peace, be still. The storm is subsiding, and the loop is breaking, not because you finally figured it out, but because I am acting. I am speaking. I am moving. You have wondered if your best days are behind you, if your story has already been written. But I tell you the truth. Your next chapter begins now. What you thought was the end was only the prelude. I did not keep you alive just to watch you decay. I preserved you for purpose. I kept you for such a time as this. And the weariness you feel? It will be lifted. The confusion you wrestled with? It will be replaced with clarity. The fear that held your breath hostage? It will be silenced. I am not angry with your questions. I am not disappointed in your doubt. I understand what it means to live in flesh, to carry years and burdens and scars. But I ask you this now. Will you trust me again? Will you let me walk with you through this new season? The loop is ending, but the journey is not. I have more for you, and you are not too old, not too late, not too far gone. You are exactly where I need you to be for what I am about to do. My timing is perfect, and you, yes, you, are about to see what it looks like when a cycle breaks not by human strength, but by divine intervention. So, rise up, shake the dust from your soul, wipe the tears from your memory. The loop didn't break you because I was there. And now that it's over, I will lead you into something new. You've waited long enough. It begins today. I am with you. And I always was. You have carried questions in your heart. Questions that you may have thought were too dangerous, too heavy, too honest to voice out loud. You have wondered in the quiet hours of your life, did you really hear me? Were your promises meant for someone else? Have you abandoned me? These are not small questions. They are the raw, aching cries of a soul that has been through much and now stands at a crossroads of faith and doubt. I see you. I hear you. And I say to you now, when you questioned me, I stayed. I am not offended by your doubts. I am not diminished by your disbelief. In fact, it was never my plan that you live a faith built on blind certainty. No. I want a faith forged in honest struggle, in wrestling with the silence and the pain, in holding on even when hope seemed to flicker and fade. You have been through storms that shook your very foundation, and I was not a distant observer. I was the rock beneath your feet, even when you slipped, even when your grip faltered. I stayed. It is human to question. It is human to feel forgotten. I do not condemn you for the moments you thought I was silent. I know the nights you cried out into the darkness and felt only echoes in return. Those moments were not the absence of my presence. They were the invitation to deeper trust. I was walking beside you through every shadow, holding your hand even when you could not feel it. You asked, "Is this the way it will always be? Am I alone in this long season of waiting?" And my answer has always been the same. I am here. I have never left. Remember when your heart felt too heavy to carry? When your prayers seemed to rise like smoke and then disappear into emptiness? You thought perhaps I was too busy, too far away, or perhaps angry. But my love is patient and my timing perfect. I never turn away from the weary. I never dismiss the doubter. You were never a mistake in my plan, nor a disappointment. Every question you carried was a seed for greater understanding. Every doubt was a doorway through which I waited to enter more fully into your life. I see the years you have lived, the joys, the sorrows, the losses that left scars deeper than you let others see. I see how you have clung to faith through it all, sometimes with trembling hands, sometimes with fierce determination. I know the nights when your spirit was crushed, and you thought your faith was too. I was there, steady and unmovable. When you questioned if I was real, it was never because I was not. It was because your soul needed me to be more real than words could say. I stayed even when you faltered, and when. This is not a rebuke. It is a promise. When you have wondered if the covenant was broken, I tell you, my promises remain. When you felt like the years had worn away your worth, I declare that you are still precious in my eyes. You are still chosen, still loved, still held. Faith is not about never questioning. It is about continuing to seek even when answers seem hidden. It is about believing even when the path is dark. I am the God who understands your questions because I gave you the ability to ask them. Do you know how many prayers I have carried for you? Those silent ones you thought were unheard. Every one of them is etched in my heart. When you questioned me, it was not rejection. It was a cry for me to come closer. And I came. I never left your side. I stayed steady as the ground beneath you, a refuge when everything around you seemed uncertain. You were never alone, even when the world seemed to turn its back. I was there, in the quiet, in the pain, in the moments you thought no one saw. Now I ask you to hear me again, not as a distant voice, but as the closest presence you will ever know. The season of questioning is a sacred one. It is a refining fire, burning away doubt, but never consuming your soul. I am with you in it. I am patient with you. I am waiting for you to trust that my love is bigger than your fears, stronger than your disappointments, deeper than your doubts. I stayed because I knew the day would come when you would look back and see the thread of my hand woven through every struggle. Faith is not always a smooth path. It is often a winding road with shadows and light intertwined. But I am the light that no darkness can overcome. When you questioned me, I stayed because I wanted to show you that my love does not depend on your certainty. It depends on my character, which never changes. I am faithful even when you are not. I am steadfast when you feel weak. I am the eternal promise that never fades. Do not be afraid to bring your questions to me. I do not require perfect faith. I only require your honesty. Tell me your doubts, your fears, your anger. I can handle it. I want to handle it. Because I am not just the God of answers. I am the God who walks with you through the questions. I am the God who stays when everyone else leaves. You have experienced that truth in ways you may not have fully understood, but it is the foundation of my love for you. I stayed because I love you. I stayed because I made a covenant with you, a covenant that is eternal and unbreakable. Your years, your struggles, your questions, they have not pushed me away. They have drawn me closer. You are not forgotten or forsaken. You are seen, heard, and deeply loved. The God who created the universe is the same God who hears your every whisper and answers every question with patience and grace. So now, I invite you to renew your trust, not because you have to be perfect, but because I am perfect in my love for you. Lay down your burdens of doubt at my feet. Let me carry what feels too heavy. You do not have to understand everything right now. You only need to know this. When you questioned me, I stayed. When you cried out, I listened. When you faltered, I held you. Your journey is far from over. The questions you carry are not signs of failure, but marks of a faith that has endured. I am with you still, ready to lead you into a new season of clarity, peace, and purpose. Trust me again. Walk with me again. Because even when you questioned me, I stayed, and I always will. Today I speak to you with a voice that will not be ignored. Today the silence that has weighed on your spirit, the quiet that felt like abandonment, the stillness that held your prayers captive, it ends. Hear me now. I am confronting what you could not. I am stepping into the battle you felt powerless to face. For too long you have wrestled alone with the shadows, fear that gripped your heart, guilt that shackled your soul, sickness that wore down your body, regrets that whispered lies in the night. But today, I take the reins. I am not waiting any longer. I am breaking the chains. I am shattering the silence. You may have believed you were forgotten or that your suffering was invisible, but I have seen every moment. I have felt every tear you wiped away in silence. I have heard the prayers you dared not voice. I was there, watching, waiting, preparing to act on your behalf. The enemy tried to keep you trapped, telling you lies that you are beyond help, beyond healing, beyond hope. But I say to you now, those lies are broken. Those chains are broken. The silence is broken. I am here, confronting every torment that has held you captive. I understand the battles you fought silently, the weight of fear that made your heart race in the quiet hours. the guilt that whispered you were unworthy of love or redemption, the sickness that made your body betray you and your spirit falter, the regrets that haunted your memories and made peace feel impossible. You faced all of this, often without a witness, often without relief. But I tell you, today is the day that changes. Today, I confront what you could not, because I am stronger than every foe you faced. I do not come as a distant observer. I come as your deliverer, your healer, your defender. The silence that kept you isolated, that made you feel unseen and unheard, is no more. I break through it with a roar that shakes heaven and earth. I am not just whispering promises anymore. I am acting. I am moving in power and authority to reclaim what was stolen from you. Your freedom is my purpose. Your healing is my mission. Your peace is my gift, and I give it now. You might ask, why now? Why after so long? I say to you, my timing is perfect, even when it feels delayed. I have waited for this moment to ensure that when I move, no power can stop me. I have prepared the way. I have weakened the enemy's grip. I have rallied heavenly forces on your behalf. This is the moment of your liberation, the day your spirit has long awaited. The silence was necessary only until I was ready to speak and act with authority. I see the hesitation in your heart, the lingering doubt, the cautious hope. I understand why you might fear this moment, because freedom often feels unfamiliar after years of captivity. But I command you to stand firm and listen. This is your moment. Do not shrink back. Do not doubt the power of my intervention. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. I am the God who turns mourning into dancing, who turns captivity into victory. Today, I confront the very things that held you bound, and I declare you free. No longer will fear control your thoughts or rob your peace. No longer will guilt chain you to the past or whisper lies of condemnation. No longer will sickness define your days or steal your joy. No longer will regrets darken your memories or silence your hope. I confront all of these now with the full force of my love and authority. I confront every spirit of oppression that has taken residence in your mind, body, and soul. I confront the voices that told you to give up, the hands that pushed you down, the walls that closed in around you. This confrontation is not a gentle nudge. It is a divine upheaval. I am shaking loose every stronghold. I am tearing down every barrier. I am breaking every chain. You will see it unfold in your life, not just as a story you hear, but as a reality you live. You will feel the shift in your spirit, the release of burdens you carried too long, the light returning to places that have known only darkness. This is my promise to you. I do not speak empty words. You may ask, how will this happen? What does it look like? It looks like hope rising from despair. It looks like strength returning to weary bones. It looks like peace flooding your heart, where once there was turmoil. It looks like freedom walking through your home where once there were shadows. It looks like joy that no one can steal and love that never fades. It looks like a new day, your day, shining brighter than anything you have known. But you must prepare. You must open your heart to receive what I am doing. You must lay down the fears and doubts that have weighed you down. This confrontation requires your faith to meet my power. It requires you to listen carefully and obey my voice. I am commanding you to believe, not just with your mind but with your whole being, that I am moving on your behalf, that I am fighting your battles, that I am silencing every enemy that dared to speak against you. I know this is hard to trust after so much waiting. But I remind you, I am the same God who made you, who breathed life into your first day, who has counted every hair on your head. I am the God who has never left you and never will. I am the God who conquers death and brings life. I am the God who declares, today, the silence ends. I am the God who stands with you and for you, who fights for you and wins for you. So stand firm. Lift your eyes. Hear my words and believe them. This is the day you have long awaited. This is the day the silence that tormented you is shattered. This is the day I confront the darkness with light. the chains with freedom, the despair with hope. This is your liberation day, your breakthrough hour, your new beginning. Remember, you are not alone. I am with you. I have always been with you. And now, I am moving mightily in your life. The silence is over. The battle is engaged. The victory is certain. Trust me and walk boldly into what I have prepared for you. Your freedom is here. Your healing is here. Your peace is here. Today the silence ends, and I am confronting what you could not. Listen well and obey. Your new life begins now. Listen closely, my beloved. The time has come for a mighty shaking, a divine upheaval that will loosen every chain, every burden, every weight that has held you back. For too long, you have carried what was never meant to be yours to carry alone. I have watched the heaviness in your heart, the weariness in your spirit, the pain in your body. And now I say this: I am shaking loose what has bound you. I am setting you free, and you will rise. Do not underestimate this moment. It is more than a promise. It is a command from the throne of heaven. I am not gently suggesting that you move forward. I am declaring that you will rise. You will not stay where you are, caught in the shadows of the past, or the fear of what the future holds. No. You will rise like the dawn after a long, dark night. You will rise because I am moving on your behalf. I am the God of resurrection, of new beginnings, of endless hope. And I will not allow anything to keep you down. You may ask, but God, I am old. My strength is gone. My days feel numbered. I say to you now, age is not a barrier to my power. Your years do not limit my ability to restore, renew, and revive. I am the same God who breathed life into the dry bones and called forth a great army. I am the God who took a widow's oil and multiplied it. I am the God who healed the sick, raised the dead, and brought joy to the brokenhearted. Your life is not finished. It is entering a new chapter, a chapter of victory, strength, and abundant life. The shaking I am doing is not just external. I am shaking your soul, your mind, your heart. I am loosening the grip of fear that has held you silent. I am breaking the chains of regret that have kept you looking backward instead of forward. I am uprooting the lies that whispered you are too late, too weak, too forgotten. These lies have no place in the new reality I am creating for you. You are not a relic of the past. You are a living testimony of my grace and power. You are a warrior ready to rise. I see how you have been limited by your own thinking, by the voices of others, by the circumstances that seemed impossible to change. But I say to you now, those limitations are being shattered. I am removing every obstacle that has stood in your way. I am tearing down the walls that kept you imprisoned in doubt and fear. You will walk in freedom, step by step, as I lead you into what I have prepared. It will not always be easy. There will be challenges. But you will rise, stronger than before, because I am your strength. You might wonder what rising looks like at this stage of life. It may not be a dramatic change overnight. It may be quiet and steady. A new peace settling in your heart, a fresh purpose awakening your spirit, a renewed passion for the life I have given you. It may be healing that begins slowly but surely, restoration of relationships, or the discovery of joy in small moments. Whatever it looks like, know this: rising is happening. It is unstoppable because it comes from me. I call you to trust me with your whole heart. I call you to lay down every fear, every doubt, every regret at my feet. Let me carry them for you. Let me take the weight you've borne too long. I am not distant or disconnected. I am near. I am the God who fills the emptiest spaces with light. I am the God who gives beauty for ashes and hope for despair. Your rising begins when you release the past into my hands and open your heart to my new work. Do not be afraid of the shaking. It is not destruction, but renewal. It is not loss, but gain. It is my way of making room for the blessings I am pouring into your life. I am clearing the debris of years gone by so you can step into the fullness of my promise. This shaking will reveal what has been hidden, heal what has been broken, and restore what has been lost. It will make you more like the person I created you to be. You will rise because my power is greater than your pain. My love is deeper than your fears. My plans for you are higher than any limitation you face. I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned you. I have been working in the shadows, preparing the harvest. Now is the time to reap what I have sown. You will rise because I have spoken it. You will rise because my word does not return void. You will rise because I am your God, the God of hope, the God of new beginnings, the God who makes all things new. So stand tall, my beloved. Lift your eyes to me. Receive this shaking as a gift, not a punishment. Embrace the rising that is coming. You are not finished. You are not done. You are just beginning. The best is yet to come. Your life, your story, your legacy will shine brighter than ever before because I am with you. I am for you. And I will never let you fall. Rise then, in faith and courage. Rise with the knowledge that I am leading you. Rise with the assurance that every step you take is ordained by me. Rise with the joy of knowing that your days are full of purpose and promise. Rise because you are my beloved child, chosen and called for such a time as this. Rise because I said so. The shaking has begun. The chains are breaking. Your rising is certain. Walk forward in my strength and watch how I transform your life. This is my promise. This is my command. This is your new beginning.